Well, welcome in. Happy Mother's Day.
Thank you.
It's another Sunday night.
Happy Mother's Day.
It's another Sunday night here at How We Cruise, and we don't let little things like. So I was asked earlier if we were going to give Julie a day off of work today, and not live stream tonight because it was Mother's Day. No, actually, we got one thing. There we go. That's better.
Good stuff, guys. Yeah, a little
bit better.
Do
we look shinier now?
Yeah, a little shinier. Hi, guys. Happy Sunday. Happy Mother's Day. So happy to be here. Thank you for joining us.
So welcome into everyone. If it's your first time here, we are How We Cruise. If you've been here before, thank you for tolerating us and coming back.
What's your name?
I'm Brian. This is Julie. And we got Cruz and Brady running around here behind us. Kids are in bed, so it's time to talk cruise. This is the part 3 of a 3-part series, which will probably turn into 5 parts.
I know we keep going on because we don't get to talk about enough of what we want to talk about.
It's like the song that never ends.
This is the song, it doesn't end. Yes, it goes on and on, my friend. No, seriously. I know I am on mine, but that's okay. So guys, I hope you all had a really great Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there, all the aunts, all the godmothers, all the grandmothers, all the mothers-to-be, all the women who are just a mother figure to anyone out there in their life. So Kevin made this in school for me. This is my mom crown. I promised to wear it all day, and I did. And I did say that I would wear it on the live stream.
It's an engineering masterpiece.
It really is.
That took how many pipe cleaners?
7. 1 for the MOM and then 4 for the crown. Yes. And I did wear it all day. And
Kevin will be posting instructions on the YouTube channel.
We were at brunch.
To make your own at home.
With his cousin and Aunt Kate also had on her crown. And we both had the same matching necklaces. So these are, school store had Mother's Day school store where all the kids could pick out their, which was a surprise to me. They collaborated with Dad and got some money from him, collaborated with Dad, and purchased, and don't forget, hold on, I have my
bling all over the place.
I know. I have my necklace, I got my bracelet, and my crown.
We won't even need to buy anything from the promenade shops on our next cruise. We're good to go. Diamonds International, you're out of luck, buddy. Sorry, pal.
In all seriousness.
Julie's set.
In all seriousness, it was a fantastic Mother's Day. I hope that you all had a good Mother's Day as well. Yeah. I was a little spoiled. I got to sleep in. We had a relaxing day. We had a nice brunch with family, and we came home. We had a nice dinner, and then it was like time for live. And I couldn't ask for a better day.
I see a lot of moms in the chat. So happy Mother's Day to all the moms who have taken their time to join us tonight. And it was funny. I was thinking about it before. It's like, what are some of the mom things when it comes to cruises? And I recall just about every cruise we've ever been on, and somehow or another, it always defaults to mom packs the kids, mom packs mom. I usually pack me.
No, you always pack you. I'm not packing you. I don't want to touch that with a 10-foot pole. I'll say this. You lay the kids' stuff out. You help them set their stuff out to pack their stuff a lot. You really do.
I'm very helpful.
You're very helpful. You're wonderful. I love you very much. Thank you for that. I do usually go through it.
Because you don't trust me.
No, I trust you. I trust you.
To be fair, when it comes to packing the kids' clothes, I don't think there's a wife anywhere or a mom anywhere in this country that should trust their husband or spouse or children to ensure that they've packed the appropriate things for a cruise. I believe the last cruise that you let me pack for the kids was the Carnival celebration, and Kev was all set to go, and he gets there, and it's formal night, and Kev pulls out 2 of the wrong shoes.
This is true. This happened. Yeah. There's always something we forget, but yeah, whatever.
Since then, I get spot checked.
It's good times. It's a team effort.
So, all right. Well, let's say hello to the people that are here that have taken time out of their Sunday nights to join us. So we have Mary Ellen and Shayna Reed fighting for first in the chat. Both here early. Thank you both for joining us as always. Always good to see you
I didn't
guys.
say hi to anybody because I was.
Well, yes.
Yeah, you talk and I'll type.
I'll talk.
How's that?
Yo Brooklyn in the house. Eddie's here. Hello, how are you? Kathy Curry, good to see you. We have Lori and Richard Vandenaren. Happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there. Let's see. Sean is here, but he's going to be our resident hockey score updater. So if you're skipping the live stream to watch hockey, Sean's got 2 screens up.
What great games have been going on though. Seriously. I'm the tag along hockey fan. You guys are the serious hockey fans.
Yeah.
And I have been really enjoying what's going on. Like overtimes, double overtimes.
The only thing that would make this better is if we were all sitting there together watching these games, sitting in playmakers. So let's just board the next like Wonder of the Seas cruise or something like that and just all sit in playmakers until the NHL playoffs are over. Nobody has to go back to work. It's an excused absence because it's the Cup. Let's see. Richard says, go Bruins. We'll let him hang out here anyway. Kevin Brubaker's here. Good to see you. Hello, Mom. Happy Mother's Day. Good to see you. Let's see. Mary Ellen. I got distracted searching cruises. It happens. It's again, totally excusable. Especially when it's on a holiday. It was a holiday sale, probably, I'm sure. Let's see. Daniel Fields is here. Hello. How are you? Nice to see you, sir. Fats and Trey. Good to see you guys. Always like trying to pop in to say hello to you guys on Sunday afternoons. Usually can't stay long because we have to discipline a child or 3. But always have you on in the background. So good times in the afternoon.
My mind is reeling as we're going through. I'm trying to say hello. But I do see Richard is in the chat and his birthday was yesterday. Happy birthday, Richard.
Happy birthday, Richard.
Hope you had a wonderful day. So, and I know I just missed a ton of people, but I was trying to
move my feet. There's a dog here. Let's see. Tony Diaz is here. Hello, nice to see you, sir. Let's see. Well, Mary Ellen says she's just starting her research on her cruise. I would tell you to book our group cruise in November, but I know you've already got that one taken care of. So let's see. Who else is here? Chris Cram is joining us from the north. It's cold. It's cold up here today. It's got to be even colder up by you guys.
It's freezing.
Yes. Let's see. Eddie says Brian should be wearing the crown. Not yet. Give it another month. I'm sure the kids' school projects will. I don't think it really matches my attire as much as it does the gold.
Right on the tilt. I don't know how. I can't do it.
It needs hair to hold on to it. It's not. I don't know if that's going to work. So, let's see. I
got so many compliments on it today, guys. I'm not even kidding.
Howdy, Matt. How are you? Nice to see you. AJ's in the house saying Happy Mother's Day to Julie and all the mothers tonight.
Thank you.
Will G is here. Good to see you again, sir. Hello. Let's see. Kevin says, I don't remember making that in school. Oh, right. Let's see. Destination Fun is here. Good to see you. Yes, I am. That's how I roll, Richard. Julie wears the bling, and I don't. Sharon is here. Hello, how are you guys doing? Good to see you guys. Happy.
I don't know. You've been sporting these. That's your bling.
These are bling, I guess.
You know.
All right. Well, talking about the packing, Shayna says she's responsible for the packing as well. So tonight we're talking about. Let's see what else. Make sure I don't have any other comments here that we need to say. Sugar's in the house. Hello, happy Mother's Day to the ladies. She says. Let's see. So, all right. So,
teaching moment for the kids. This is true.
I'm just trying to get caught up here. I want to. Okay. Let's see. Agreed. Yes. Hockey talk. Everything's important. Yes. All right. Let's.
LGR. We saw a license plate with LGR on it last night.
Yes,
we had a busy weekend.
We did.
Because Friday night, and it wasn't planned in advance because we never know what we're doing. To to be honest, with what games are coming up, what kids are doing, where we're supposed to be, when we're supposed to be there, who's coaching what, where we're supposed to be, anything. So Friday night, we ended up going to Skeggy's out in Easton.
Yes.
Great place, axe throwing, arcade, bar, bullseye bar. And we watched a really, really great band, Side Hustle. And kids were there. They were playing air hockey, playing games, and it was a really fun night. That was Friday.
Yep.
Saturday, we had a minor league baseball game to go to. So that was last night. Super, super fun. And in the midst of it all, we dealt with Katie feeling a little under the weather. Brian also too. He had quite a bit of a little tickle in his throat. And Katie was not feeling her best. And then of course today was Mother's Day. So like I feel like this weekend has been a blur. I can't remember 2 minutes of it. And in the midst of it all, we're talking about what we have to do to get ready for tonight. And we knew that we were continuing on with planning our live stream. And I said, well, what better way to do that than to kind of carry on the conversation of how do you plan and what part does mom take in that?
So we want to know in the chat. Let us know. Are you the planner, or are you the trophy wife, trophy husband who just gets to go on the cruise and smile for all?
I'm going to be completely honest with you. I don't think that ever happens. I think there's always a duel. I think that no matter what, I mean, I don't care if you are just traveling with a companion, if you're traveling with a lifetime partner, if you're traveling with a family with kids, if you're traveling with a generation between you, grandparents with grandkids, I don't care who you are, how you're traveling, what you're doing. I think that everybody takes a part in what they're doing.
Well, the main thing that we wanted to really hit on tonight is that planning and what you're doing on your ship. Are we, we got our group cruise coming up in November. And we're starting to think about.
I need one of those.
What?
I just saw Chris Cram's comment about a pack mule to carry luggage. I need one of those.
Well, start packing smaller.
I try. Anyway, sorry. Okay, we digress. Oh, seriously, we are like 16 minutes, and we should probably get to the point.
Kevin says not only and I saw Julie almost made it, so you didn't miss anything yet. We're talking about the planning. Kevin says not only do I look amazing, but I'm the planner also. And Sugar says, where do you go? Hold on, where do you go?
That's a great comment right there, Sugar.
I usually travel with friends.
I always research. There's always somebody, and sometimes multiple people, who kind of there's usually somebody that takes the lead in researching, okay, what do we want to do? What excursions do we want to do? What meals do we want to plan? So this is where we were kind of heading towards with tonight. Like, what do you have to actually, so now we're booked, we're getting packed, or we know what we're going to pack. We know what we want to do. Now, what do we have to do to execute this before we actually get on the ship? But you're right. There's always somebody that kind of takes the lead in planning. Okay, guys, let's figure out what we want to do when we want to do it.
All right, so we've got a lot of planners in the group here. I'm seeing here, Chris says Denise is the planner. Kathy Curry says that she's the planner. Julie says that when she travels with Matthew, she does all the planning and packing, but she has a few cruises with friends. I'm enjoying backing down and planning together. Well, don't you worry, Julie. This is the show for you because we've got you covered.
Who plans between us?
I actually think it's split down the middle.
Yeah, I know. As I was asking that, I thought that
you wanted to do a zinger. That was
I know.
Julie's goal. There was to like gut punch me, and then she went, "Oh crap!"
Well, I thought you were going to say I do all the planning. No. Not me. You. I thought you were going to say you do all the planning.
You come up with outrageous ideas, and then I pull them off.
As I was asking the question, I realized I think I do a lot of the research, but you do the planning, you do the execution. Don't you think?
Julie's like, let's get a catamaran for 30 people in Nassau and all go snorkeling.
And it works until the port gets canceled.
Because who figured it out?
No, I know, but awesome. But I mean, like we really do kind of like we work together hand in hand for sure. Yeah.
Let's see. Sue.
I come up with the great ideas.
Here it
I
is.
just
This
make
is-
you
this
figure
is
out a
the
way.
one. This is the one. This is the one right here. Chris has got it. Julie
Okay.
plans it, and Brian creates a spreadsheet. You're right. That's how we do it. That's right.
Spot
That's
on.
Right. That's right.
You got it.
Will says, I do the planning and for the cruises, and his wife does the land vacations. Okay, that's
Okay,
cool.
I
That's a
love
good one to
that. I
put
love that
that up.
dynamic.
Let's see. Mary Ellen says down the rabbit hole. I'm not sure which rabbit hole you were going down, but enjoy the journey, and I hope we're there with you. Let's see.
I think we're down the rabbit hole.
I think no, we saw a squirrel about a half an hour ago, and that thing is.
Was it a black squirrel?
I don't know.
Squirrel or like a? I don't know. I saw a black squirrel in my yard the other day. That's why I asked.
There was a woodpecker walking across our yard. Not flying.
Oh.
There was a woodpecker literally walking across the yard.
Talk about down the rabbit hole and we digress. He literally goes, that was this morning. Guys, who wants to see a woodpecker?
It was cool.
Anyway.
They're bigger than
all right, no,
let's
let's stay on track. Let's
let's see. All right, so we got a lot of planners in the house here.
Okay,
so
Sharon, let's see you got.
At our house, one person plans and one person shows up when it's time to go.
Hey.
So it looks like Sharon's in
Yes.
the chat tonight, not Jamie. Let's see. Happy Mother's Day.
They didn't say which was which.
I know, but
we know which was which, but
right. Daniel says, I booked the cruises, but we pass the individual items across each other before we book those. So Shana says, I used to do most of the research, but we really split it now. So this brings us to kind of, all right, so we want to talk about two things. We want to talk about planning for things while you're on the ship.
Yeah.
And we want to talk about things to do off the ship. So I want to talk about things to do off the ship first, if we could.
Off the ship. Okay, so we're planning pretty far. Not necessarily.
You have so many notifications.
I know, it drives you crazy.
You got all right. Are you a no notifications person or like a 1,400 emails?
You digress again.
Yeah.
If we can just, I don't know. I have my emails are over 10,000. Over 10,000 notifications. My text messages are 218 unread.
So if you need to get a hold of How We Cruise, reach out to Brian.
No, this is not true. A lot of them are spam, guys. A lot of them, I see it and I don't open it up. Okay, like that's what's going on there. But things do get hidden sometimes because I do miss them. I have 32 unanswered calls, but those again, hold on. I'm going to open those up. Every single one of those is. Every single one of those is spam. They're all solicitors. Every single one is a number that I don't know. And not only do I not know, but it says potential spam, whatever. So,
all right. So Shana says we just
and I'm
finished
behind.
planning
I am
Halifax.
behind on my Facebook messages.
Shana says we just finished planning Halifax with the kids, and miraculously, we all agree on the excursion. So Halifax is a great example because Halifax was actually one of the ports that I was looking up the other day in Viator, because a lot of times, a lot of the ports that Julie and I are very comfortable with are the ports in Mexico and the Caribbean, where we feel very comfortable just getting off the ship, finding a taxi, and kind of going about it your own. So we want to know, let us know in the chat, are you a cruise ship excursion planner? Are you a third party excursion planner? Or are you a wing it kind of person? Or part 4, are you completely confused by that question and have no idea what I'm talking about? Because we're going to talk about all 4. Well, 3. So first, booking through the cruise ship. What's the advantage of booking an excursion through the cruise ship?
Well, the advantage to booking through the cruise ship is you absolutely know that you're guaranteed to be refunded your money if that excursion gets canceled. If you don't make it to port, if something doesn't happen, if it gets canceled for any reason, the cruise ship is going to refund you your money. You also know that you're guaranteed to make it back to the ship. And if for whatever reason at all, like if you book through the cruise line on any excursion and the cruise ship does have to leave, I can't even think of an example where this happened, and I'm sure there are some. So if anybody in the chat does know of any, but I'm sure this could happen. Maybe it has happened. But if the ship has to leave, you book through the ship and you do get left behind, they will absolutely guarantee and cover the cost of you getting back to the ship or getting home. Like they got you covered. They had you.
So Daniel brings up a good point here. He says they use the cruise ship excursions a lot because they have excursion credits. And sometimes the casino offers us excursions while we're on the cruise, wherever we have booked outside of the cruise line a lot.
That's when we use it too, when we have credits. If we don't have credits, we usually book outside.
And Daniel and Nancy are big NCL supporters, and one of the deals you can get with NCL is the onboard, or I'm sorry, not the onboard, the excursion credit when you book. And so that's a value in booking through the cruise line, because you're going to pay a little bit less when you have a credit.
Okay, so let's not talk so much about why or what you book. Let's talk about how you figure out what you want to book. Okay. So we're going on a cruise to pick anywhere under the sea, right? We're gonna go to.
Let's use Nassau.
Nassau, great. Okay, fantastic example, guys. We don't have this planned. We're going. We're women. We're. Anyway, we're on a whim. I don't know.
Okay.
Whatever. Anyway, so we're going to Nassau. How do you know what you want to do?
Guys, we're going to Nassau. No idea what we're doing. Let's just.
You picked it.
I know.
Okay. So anyway, we're in Nassau. Maybe you've been there. Maybe you haven't. How do you know what you want to do? There's so many. That was a good example because there's so many things to do there, right? You could stay in port. You could venture off on your own. You could book something to ship, which could include anything from a snorkeling trip to a trip to the beach with lunch to a trip just out for a sail on the seas. It could be a food tour. It could be a walking history tour. There's so much to do in Nassau. How do you know what you want to do?
But the first thing to do, really, is, you want to talk to somebody who's been there before. Or
I don't know anybody who's been there before.
Or you want to Google it.
I don't know anybody who's been there before.
Or look at YouTube or do anything.
I've been there before, and I don't know what else I want to do new.
You're not. No, stop. So decide what's important to you in that port. Whether it's a tour, whether it's snorkeling, whether it's some of these Alaska ports have some really awesome wildlife excursions. If you're in Mexico, maybe it's, hey, I want to go see ruins.
One of the things I like to do is go to the different sites outside of the ship, right? So and not the Facebook groups that are going on the ship, not the cruise ship excursions that they offer, but I like to go to the different websites that offer. You mentioned Viator, but like companies such as that. I like to go there and see, and then type in the city that we're going to or the port that we're going to and see what they have to offer. Then I like to match that up to what the ship has to offer. So I look at both of them and I see, okay, what is this company? What types of excursions are they offering? What is the ship offering? How do they match up? And then most importantly, I like to make sure that the times match up, because don't book a 6-hour excursion at 3 p.m. when your ship is set to leave at 5 p.m. Like, make sure your times match up, and you don't have to strictly rely through the website. You also can call, you can pick up the phone. There's so many ways to do this. But if you're most comfortable, and we always say this, if you're most comfortable, stick through booking through the ship. And if you do have a travel agent, if you have a travel advisor, talk to them, let them help you. They will absolutely 1,000,000% give you the best advice and should know the right way to book the best thing.
And I'll say this. If you look down in the description tonight, there's a link to Viator. So I was looking at our upcoming cruises, and I was looking at some of the ship.
So I don't want to leave it exclusively to that.
I know, but let me.
Oh, hey, thank you for the subscription. Hi, Beachsided.
Beachsided, nice.
Welcome in.
So what I did today is I started looking at our upcoming cruises. And I started looking at, this is over the course of the last couple of days. And I started looking at some of the ship-sponsored excursions and what they recommend to do. And I was doing this for some of our clients too, not just for us. I was just kind of comparing and contrasting what the ship offers, how much they're charging. And then I did some things. I went over to Viator. I went over to Shore Excursioneer. I went over to TripAdvisor, and I checked out some
And I like
of
all
those.
three of those.
and I-
Those are my top three.
And I checked out some of those. And what I found is that those search engines, you put in the cruise ship you're going on, you put in the port you're going to, and it'll tell you what excursions are offered that day. And oftentimes you can find out which ones are the same ones that are being offered through the ship, and you can see if there's a relevant cost difference for you. In most cases, it looks like there is a little bit. So what I did for everybody who's here, so for, secret just for all you guys that are here, there's a link down in the description of this video to take you to Viator that will give you a little bit of a discount on some of those excursions. So feel free to use that.
Yes,
so
absolutely.
That's just for you. Don't tell anybody else. It's just for
That's
you
not
guys.
true. Share it. But what about Resort Pass for a day? ResortPass.com.
That's one of your favorites.
I love going to that one. So a lot of times you're in port somewhere and you might not, you might want to do something that is maybe resorty or like has to do with another brand, and you're coming in off of a cruise ship. You can go to I think ResortPass.com or or Google Resorts for a Day. You can also get some really great deals, and you can book far in advance to know exactly what they're going to have available for you to be able to do something that might offer you extra amenities that you definitely wouldn't have if you didn't do through that.
So a couple of comments here that I'll. Kevin says, I usually just walk to the port, but I really want to rent a golf cart or UTV and drive around. That's one of the things that we like to do down in Costa Maya, actually, is we like grabbing a golf cart.
That's our favorite thing to do down.
And I tell you, as you go to
That's
these
our go-to.
ports,
Yeah.
as you go to these ports, you start to learn some of the local vendors. And if you're in Costa Maya, we highly recommend the Red Shirt golf cart rental. Those guys have been fabulous. Just always make sure you reserve in advance with them. You can reach them on Facebook.
Yeah, for sure.
Shayna says it depends on how long we're in port. Long time might be a food tour. Short might just be a walk around the port. Julie says, go ahead.
I was gonna say, go ahead. Julie.
I usually book a cruise excursion, but this coming year I'm only booking what the group wants to do and wander around and explore.
Great point, Julie. I mean, especially if you are traveling with a group, to join in with what they're doing, even if it's something that you normally wouldn't do, can be so rewarding, because you get the experience of doing something that you wouldn't normally do, or maybe that what you wouldn't have chosen. But B, like, you're with people that you enjoy being around or you want to be around. So I think that's a really good tip. Plus, you get the added benefit of being in a community of people who kind of like, you're together. You're not just off on your own.
I mean, I'll say it. I kind of know where you're going. There's safety in numbers too.
Yes.
If you're with a group of people, there's a lot more eyes watching, and you're still in a foreign country, and
exactly.
But Daniel kind of hit on the next thing I wanted to mention. Daniel says, recently I've been looking up the excursion destinations and mapping them to see how close or far away they are.
Yes.
So
we had that experience too, Daniel. Yep.
So I'm going to say this for anybody who's coming on our November group cruise, November 3rd through 9th of 2024. We still have rooms available on Freedom of the Seas. If you haven't booked. Because it's Mother's Day and Julie hates the ticker, I'm not going to put the ticker up, so you'll have to call me. But we were looking up Falmouth, Jamaica. Now, Falmouth is on the north. Is it Falmouth or Falmouth? Whatever.
I say Falmouth.
Jamaica.
It's Falmouth.
Jamaica.
Falmouth.
It's on the north side of Jamaica. It's up near Ocho Rios, but nowhere near as close to Ocho Rios as I really thought it was. So our original plan of trying to maybe get over to like Dunn's River Falls doesn't sound like it.
Dunn's River Falls is closer than some of the other places that we've looked at. So now
it's still like 45 minutes to an hour.
And that's something to consider. Definitely that travel time is something to consider.
Especially when we're traveling with 3 kids.
Or with a group, right? Because the more people you are, you want to make sure everybody's together, whatever. It does add, I don't care how you look at it. The more people you have, the more time you kind of have to allot to make sure that you have your group in order. But going back to what I was going to say a couple minutes ago, sometimes there's something to say for 2 things. One, just getting off the ship and walking around the port. I mean, I don't know of not one port that doesn't have at least some sort of shops and some sort of, visitor track or visitor anything. So sometimes, you know what? You don't want to go do an excursion. You don't want to go on a safari, and you don't want to go whale
safari.
I know, but my point is you don't want to go whale watching, and sometimes you don't want to go see penguins, and sometimes you don't want to go to the beach.
What do you do if you catch something on the safari? Can you bring, like, let's say I shoot a lion on safari. Can I bring it back on the ship?
That is a whole conversation for another life.
Okay, so next week we'll talk about
animals. Not next week. Listen, the next time
bring onto the ship.
The next time we have a safari booked on our cruise, we will talk about that.
Okay.
However, let's stick with what is there to offer for saying that you just I really want to go to St. Kitts. Right? We've been sick with it. I know. I'm using it as an example. Really want to go to St. Kitts. Can't wait to go to St. Kitts. You know what? St. Kitts is a good example of what do I want to do there, right?
Sean says next week he wants top and bottom thickers.
Thanks, Sean. He wouldn't let me have off tonight. I mean, I'm telling you, he told me, no way. Mother's Day, and I got to work.
Well, here, work.
No,
I want you to comment. Okay, go ahead.
Well, I just wanted to finish up. So, I mean, there's something to say for, hey, listen, I think I'm going to hit this port more than once, or maybe I know I'm only going to hit this port more than once. So kind of evaluating there too. Will I ever be back here? And if I'm never going to be back here, what do I really want to experience from this port? And what do I really, if I am going to be back here, maybe I just want to get a taste and get a better idea of what I could come back and do more of next time.
All right. So we have a point here. It says, I always look at the reviews of the excursion. And Shayna says, we look at videos from trusted vloggers of what they've done in ports too. So thank you for that, because I'll say that
both of those comments are spot on and what we do. That's what we do.
One thing I want to say about this.
Okay.
When you see our vlogs, when you get our opinion,
I wasn't even gonna go to our vlogs.
If you watch any, I mean, we've got some good vlogs up of what to do in some of these Caribbean ports. And there's
we've
more
got
coming.
And we've got a lot of vlogs that are yet to come that aren't up yet.
And
I think he's confusing
and
it too.
These people want to know.
I know.
But anyway, the point is the one thing you'll see consistently throughout our vlogs is we film the kids.
Yeah.
So the one thing you get out of kids is honest opinions. So if there's something that our kids don't like, if there's something that we don't like, you're going to hear it. So there are a lot of vlogs out there that do come from sponsorships. So
most of the time you'll hear them say something like, we were hosted by.
Right. Check your descriptions of your videos when you're doing your research to see if it's a
sponsorship. But I don't have a problem with them, because I feel like if you can see,
it's an awareness.
Yes, no, it's an awareness. But I also feel like if you see it with your own eyes, if you see what they're doing, you can get a real taste of what you'll experience there, whether they have a good time or not. Because we always say we are how we cruise, because we're how we cruise, right? How we cruise may not be how you cruise. How we travel isn't going to be how you travel. So an excursion that we absolutely love may not be the excursion that you love. One of my very favorite things that we get as travel advisors, when people call us and they go, okay, what should we do here? And I want to be like, oh boy, like that sets you up to be disappointed, and it sets us up to disappoint you. And we don't ever want that to happen. We don't know what you like. Even our own family, you have to really know, like, what are you in the mood for? Do you want to go lounge on the beach? Do you want to go to a beach party?
Are you a zip liner?
Do you want to zip line? Do you want to go jet skiing? Do you want to go climb, some crazy mountain? Do you want to go hang out with penguins? Do you want to go polar dip in?
Shayna wants to know if we're going to see penguins in Jamaica.
I think we should. Dude, I mean, I think that would go viral. I'm how much I'm cringe as I
If your
talk.
travel agent books you to see penguins in Jamaica,
Please
you
don't-
need a new travel
Please
agent.
don't use a travel advisor that books you to see penguins in Jamaica.
And we're the travel agent coordinating that cruise. So I would tell you, if we book you to see penguins in Jamaica, please use a different travel agent. Sean says, welcome in, Sean. I know that the port does not have shopping at the port. It is in Melbourne, Australia.
You guys are
But
so fun.
that's easy, Sean, because we'll just stop by your house and you could take us to the local mall. That's fine. That's what we're going to do in Melbourne. Sean's taking us all to the mall.
I'm trying, guys. So I'm trying to not stay exclusive. When we talk, we really book so much and we travel so much in the Caribbean. I'm trying to branch out and not only use Caribbean examples. So I'm glad you guys are picking up on that.
There we go.
What'd you do?
What'd you do? I tried to click on
Did you mute me?
I should have. Kevin says, I'm afraid to go on an Alaskan cruise. If I do the polar plunge, the Eskimos might try and spear me. So, Kevin, we've got the perfect cruise for you then. When we were at Cruise 360, we've been seeing a lot of these discovery cruises going down to Antarctica. Antarctica is the new place to be. And one of the excursions that they offer, it's more of a shipboard experience than it is a true excursion. But you kind of get to jump off the back of the boat into the water and swim with the penguins. This is the third time penguins has come up today. This is very weird. Penguin never comes up in our blogs.
It never has before, ever. Maybe it's a sign. Maybe we need to book something with penguins. I don't know.
Next group cruise, Antarctica. Who's in? Bring your jackets.
No, it really is a hot destination right now. And excursion cruises really are very... I thought you were going to be nice to me. It's Mother's Day.
I am being nice to you.
Anyway.
Let's see. Right. Yeah, so Chris says he's in for swimming with penguins in Jamaica.
So, okay.
Antarctica. No, wait, where are we going? Polar bear.
Listen, I don't really, honestly, guys, I am not the animal lover. I didn't want to see, I like to look at the monkeys from afar. The sloths were cool. I didn't hold a sloth. I want to see whales. That'd be super cool. I love watching the dolphins off the ship. I don't ever want to swim with penguins and seeing them like behind a barrier would be cool. I'm not.
Lehigh Valley Zoo.
I'm not an animal person, guys. I'm sorry, and don't judge me. I'm sorry. I'm just being honest. I'm not.
Sean says, "Great. I'm paying for lunch. Come on down. We'll pick you up at the port." All right. So we'll be right there. Just getting on a flight for about 15 hours. Let's see. Shayna says we'd be in, but not in 2025. I'm not sure we squeeze another one in. And my bank advised us that we can't squeeze.
We were talking about 2025 today. So, oh my gosh, we have so much.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on. 2025 is a busy year. But anyway, all right. So you mentioned hugging a sloth.
Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit about Roatan, because Roatan's another good port where you could talk about the differences in what you can do with an excursion.
Okay. Oh, go ahead. You're taking it in an entirely different direction than I thought you were going to.
Well, when you mentioned it, you made me think of it, because what we did last time we were in Roatan.
You're talking about one very specific port, and I was keeping it very general to planning a cruise.
Well, sure.
I'm talking about penguins and polar plunges and sloths, and now you want to talk about one specific port.
I was giving an example.
See how this works? See?
All right, fine. Talk about.
No. Go. I want to hear.
It's your holiday. You talk.
I want to hear what you're going to say, please.
No. So what you were talking about with the sloths, it reminded me of a good example of when we first went on that cruise with the kids. The first time we went down to Roatan, we looked at booking through Royal Caribbean, because there's two different ports in Roatan that offer different excursions. So the point that I was trying to make,
you're using this specific example as to how we
not only and this is similar to when we were on the breakaway, when we pulled into Cozumel and we got off the ship in Cozumel, and I looked around and I'm like, this ain't Cozumel, because we got off in a different port. So it's something to keep in mind, that when your ship docks in port, know which port you're going into, especially if you're in some of these larger areas that have different ports for the different cruise lines. This happened to us in St. Thomas.
I'm sorry. You lost me. So I hope that they're following, and I hope when I do watch the replay, I got you. But you lost me.
Okay.
Got things going all over the place.
Kevin says they're already looking at February of 2026. Guess what? So are we. Cruise Nut says hello from Mexico.
Hey
Hola.
guys.
How's
Might
everything?
you be near Cozumel?
Perhaps. Maybe we were just talking about that. Let's see. Yeah. So Shane says we verified that for Puerto Rico too. Yes, I recall talking.
Well, okay. So we're talking about how to plan the best cruise ever, right? How to plan your cruise, and that was what I was. How to plan your cruise. So we've been talking today about planning in advance what you want to do and what ports you want to go to, what type of excursion you might want to do. Do you want to do it through the ship? Do you not want to do it through the ship? Or do you just want to go out and experience? Or do you want to stay on the ship? Staying on the ship is fine too. Totally okay to stay on the ship. But
before you stay on the ship, Kevin wants to know if the penguins in Jamaica can drive the golf carts.
I kind of want to play mini golf with penguins.
Only if you stop at the pharmacy first.
Well, okay.
All right.
And the show has reached a new level.
Talk about the ship. So, all right.
No, well, I would say
it's not only just the destination.
We don't have to keep it at excursions and destinations. But I literally got a text late last night. We're finally looking at our app and cruise stuff. Do we need to make reservations for food? So I don't want to completely and totally switch gears, but I'm going to completely.
Okay, well, you got to eat too. No,
right?
So
I'm going to completely and totally switch gears
because we're planning.
We're talking about planning your cruise. So these are all things that you do in advance, right? You book, you look on your app, and you're going to look at all of the different things, all the different categories. You're going to start by looking at the excursions that the ship has to offer. Then you're going to match them with some other websites to see if there's any other better deals or something that you're comfortable with booking outside the ship. You're going to see if you're going to do that. If you are with a group, you're going to find out what they're doing, see if it's something that you want to do with them. So there's all kinds of things that you have to plan for excursions for port days. There's also things to do sea days, which we haven't really talked about either, but like how do you book the activities that are aboard the ship? And some of them you need reservations, such as a cooking class or a special whatever. But then there's a whole bunch of other stuff, such as hold on, other activities like bingo. These are all things that I have done. Napkin folding, going and seeing, I don't know, the art shows, or there's so many things. They have parades, or they have all kinds of stuff that are going on. And you can see these ahead of your cruise. Even if it's not in your cruise planner, you can see these by looking up at like previous cruise planners from ships that you've been on. But what do you do about the things that you have to reserve? You have to reserve like dining, specialty dining, shows. And when do you book shows? What shows do you have to book? Do you have to book all the shows? And other specialty events, such as, I don't know, sushi making class.
So Shayna says we count the ship as a port that travels with us, so we plan what to do on the ship. That's exactly where I was going with you.
I do too.
So, and always allow a margin for error for things that pop up, right? Daniel wants to know, how do you book a pickleball court? Yeah, with the popularity right now, you're going to have to knock over a bunch of ladies or something.
Daniel, it depends on the line that you're on, because most of the lines have open pickleball time. You show up, you have to have like the proper attire and your shoes on. They will let you play, and you get in line. It's not first come first serve, but like, they take their time, they give you times or whatever, and you get to play during this set amount of time. Some lines are offering a like pickleball course that you can pay for. Know that if you book those pickleball courses, It's actually a lesson. And you're not reserving the court just for yourself, just to have it for that time. So I think that's an important differentiation that we've kind of experienced. Not we haven't personally experienced, but we've been hearing a lot of people talk about. So it depends on the line. It depends on what they offer. But a lot of times there's not reserving the court. It's just showing up when they have pickleball time.
But one of the best things you can do is as soon as you're done booking your cruise, join up with those Facebook groups for your specific sailing to see what people are talking about. Because I guarantee you somebody in that group has been on that ship before. Somebody's been on a back-to-back. Somebody's going to have some information to share. And the other thing to do is download those cruise ship apps, if you haven't already, as fast as you possibly can, and start looking at what's available in those, because as things are available to schedule, they start popping up in those apps.
Well, even if you can't schedule it, it might say that, pickleball starts every day at 9:00, right? If pickleball starts on the line that you're sailing on at 9:00, don't show up at 9:00 and don't show up at 9:05. If it's something that's important to you that you want to do, be there early and wait there. And I'm not saying be there an hour early, but be there 15 minutes, be there 10 minutes in advance, because that'll guarantee that you're there and you're ready to go and you'll be in line to go. If you show up after the time, you might be 10 people behind. And if they only have an hour or they only have 2 hours reserved, you might not get the time allotted that you were expecting.
And especially those,
it goes for anything, not just pickleball.
Especially those activities on the ship that cost an extra fee. I mean, I'll give you
flow rider, pickleball.
I'll give you. I was going to say, if you're gonna, like, let's say you want to ride boat on an XL class ship.
Oh yeah.
Book that thing and book it early. You want to do the Crown's Edge on Icon of the Seas. The price is way down now. It's down to like $23. Do that early, book it early. Reserve your
and there's no added fee for things like ropes courses on a lot of the ships. Yeah. But if you get in line and there's a long line, you're going to be waiting in line.
That's one of my biggest complaints about flow riding on a Royal Caribbean ship is there is no reservations for those. There's no reservation for flow rider unless you take a group of people and you book the whole thing for like an hour less.
Or you have there are some private times for other things
stuff
too.
Like that. But if you just want to ride that flow rider, not only do you have to get there and sit through a little safety signing waiver
Hold on, time out.
You got to wait in line.
Just a little tip here. If you're going to do flow rider on a Royal Caribbean ship and you want to do that and you don't want to wait, you can, once you do that safety demonstration and they band you, don't cut that band off, don't whatever, sign the waiver, watch the demonstration. That does take a bit of time. It could take up to 20 to 30 minutes. And that's only once you get to the top of the line. It could be a line behind you. So once you do that, you're good for the entire week. So if you know you want to do it maybe like a day later in the week and you have some extra time, you can run up there when there's no line and they're offering the safety briefing and signing the waivers. Do that early and then go back. That would be my tip. Sorry.
There are some activities that sometimes they cost money, sometimes they're offered free. So like I'll take our Anthem of the Seas cruise, for example. Our last group cruise last November, we tried to get everybody to go do the iFly, but on sea days there's a charge. On port days it's included.
Yes.
Right? I get that backwards.
No, wait.
That's right.
On sea days,
you pay for it.
You pay for it. On port days, it's complimentary.
Same thing with
during their set times.
Same thing with the North Star on that ship.
Yeah.
So we tried to get one of those reserve time.
We did get that reserve time. We had the reserve time. We were there. We were suited up. We went through the safety briefing. We signed our waivers. We were all set to go. 2 out of probably the 8 of us had already started doing the iFly. We were all in there. We were in the wind tunnel.
That wasn't where I was going with this, but
oh, well, I was, okay. Well, I'm just going to say.
Yeah.
And then there was an emergency on the ship and they had to shut down iFly. We had to evacuate the iFly area. Everything was fine. It wasn't anything crazy or major. Like we weren't in any danger. It wasn't anything like that. There was no problem with iFly or anything else, but they had to shut it down. They had to stop it. We had to evacuate. And they said, come on back. They were going to bring us back, but like there was no other time that we could come back.
Right. So, I mean, if
During
there's
sea
things
day
that
or
are
not.
important to you, pay the fee, reserve the time that's important to you. But again, balance it out. So Kevin asked the question, so should we book a casita on the Labadee day in case they cancel? And it turns into a sea day. So
I like the way you think, Kev.
Then we get a port day price for a sea day.
I like the way you think.
We're just going to leave that right there, Kev.
I'll send you a message.
Blaine says pickleball. That sounds like a big deal. Hey, Blaine, nice to see you. I'll just say pickleball. So pickleball is actually huge. And, you know, the other thing to think about is, you know, we do sell with kids. And there are times that are reserved for adult pickleball and times that are reserved for family pickleball.
So Brian just turned 13, but the last couple cruises he's been on, it's been 11 or 12. And he loves pickleball. And he'll get up, he'll show up, and he'll be waiting there in line. He'll be there the 15 minutes, half an hour beforehand to make sure that he's there. And there's been a couple times where they're like, I'm sorry, we're only allowing adults on it. So, and I said, listen, it's okay. You know, you have to follow whatever instruction they're giving, whatever they're doing. But
so double check those times, double check those ages, you know, and you know, join the Facebook groups for the cruises before your cruise, so you can kind of get an idea as to what's going on.
If they allow you in.
If they allow you in. You know, don't cause a star in there. Just kind of.
Ooh.
What?
Usually I hear about that on.
That's why you keep missing things.
I'm not missing anything. He's telling me my computer is covering the comments on the other.
I'm usually going like this here. Daniel says he trashed his shoulder in an iFly. Hopefully that wasn't on a cruise and didn't ruin your.
Well, I don't know many places that they have. I guess
There's
they
one
do.
In Freehold.
Oh, right. I guess you're right, but
maybe we'll have a meetup at an iFly in Freehold. So guys, there's been some. So we said it in the beginning of the show that earlier this weekend we stopped off at Skeggy's. It's a fun place in Eastern Pennsylvania. You know,
I mean, we literally didn't know we were going there until the day of, though. So.
Right, we did. It
wasn't pre-planned on our part.
No, well, I mean, they knew they had a band. We didn't know.
Oh yeah, and we knew of it, but we didn't know we could make it because our kids have 15 other things going on.
Right, but what I'm thinking is, you know, if there's some local people in the chat, maybe we'll start planning some local meetups in between our cruises.
I think that would be a lot of fun.
So if you guys would like that, let us know in the. Let us know. Come on over to our community group and let us know. We'll start planning some stuff over in the Facebook group. But let's see. Sean says there's one in Pine Brook. Kevin says I played pickleball way back in the mid '80s. It was kind of big at our school. I didn't even know pickleball was a thing in the '80s. It was like I thought like back in the '80s it was all about racquetball.
I wouldn't know. I wasn't alive.
Yeah. Let's see.
See what I did there?
Let's see. Let's see. All right.
I fib.
Yes, you do. All right. So, well, Kevin reminded you earlier, and I know I told Julie that we wouldn't do this, but we're going to do it anyway. Just a little reminder. It just because we're running out of time here, so we want to make sure that everybody knows it. It happens. Anyway,
you said you weren't going to put up the ticker because it was Mother's Day, and you forgot.
Fine. I'll take it down.
I don't care. No, I don't care. It doesn't bother me that much. I don't like it, but it doesn't bother me that much.
Well, I did want to remind people of the group cruises we have coming up, so that way they can join us.
Mm-hmm.
So if you haven't booked yet, we do have room left in November to join us on the Freedom of the Seas.
And we would love to have you there. It's going into an amazing group. It's going to be a lot of fun. Yeah.
Shayna's mad at me too. She says you promised with a saddy face, but here's the thing.
I'll let him off.
In my old age, a lot of times the ticker isn't for you; it's for me.
This is true.
I can't remember where we're going,
and I know
so I need the ticker so I can help.
But hold on. So I know we're coming towards the end of an hour, and I don't, especially on Mother's Day, I don't want to hold everybody up. But I do I started talking about this before, and then we got sidetracked with other things about on the ship. But like the message that I got earlier was, do we need to make reservations for food? So let's kind of tease this and we can talk more about it. I don't know. You guys let us know in the chat. Should we keep going? Keep going with one more? Should we do a part 4? Because I have something exciting to come up after this. But we're having a lot of fun talking about planning the cruises because we know that there's so many questions. We get questions all the time. And I don't care if you're a seasoned cruiser, a new cruiser, or somewhere in between. I think everybody always has questions about things that aren't either familiar to them or maybe they forget. So, like, when do you book? First of all, do you have to book reservations for dining at all? Again, depends. So we're going to tease this a little bit. We can talk more about it next time. Are you okay with that?
Sure. It's Mother's Day.
Yeah, he doesn't offer any other options. Anyway, I think no. I wanted to answer this question because it was a specific question that I got yesterday, and good people, awesome, and I know we're having a continued conversation about this. But if anybody has a question, never be afraid to ask your question, because if you have that question, I guarantee you at least 500,000 other people have that same question.
Sound like a college professor now.
Well, you know. So when do you book your dining? Depending on the line, of course. Different lines do things different ways. But for the most part, there's 3 options. It's a early seating time, a late seating time, or a my time dining. Some cruise lines only have a my time dining type of experience. Other cruises only have a set time, but that's pretty small and a very small portion of them. But if you have that, you set that and that is yours and you don't have to worry about it. My time dining, depending on the line, you do have to reserve your set time, or you have to show up and then wait like you would if you went to a restaurant at home until they have an available seating for you.
Which a lot of them, they're doing that through the apps and stuff now. So it makes it a lot easier than it used to be. We
prefer doing an early dining time. That's what we normally set for us. And when, either if it's the both of us or with our family or with the kids and stuff, we usually do an early seating time because we like to be able to make it to the shows in time or have the rest of the evening to do whatever we're going to do. Okay. So if you have that, you do not have, once that's set, you don't have to make any reservations unless you want specialty dining. Specialty dining is special reservations at restaurants on board, and some ships only have specialty dining. So we'll say that if you have that, then you have to make all your reservations, and you can do that ahead of time on the app, depending on the package you have. If you just want to go to, say, the steakhouse one night, you go on the app in advance, make that reservation for the set night that you want at the set time. It'll tell you what times are available. You book it, you pay for it in advance because it's specialty dining. There is an added cost, and you are set to go. That is on your reservation. If you need to cancel that, you need to do it usually within 24 hours of advance or whatever, before the day before. As long as you cancel that, they'll refund you your money. But other than that, you're set to go. If you have a dining package, sometimes you have to wait until you get on the ship and then go to any one of the restaurants, go to their kiosk, maitre d', whatever it is, and then you can book your set number of dining privileges because you bought a package. So there's sometimes you can book it in advance. Sometimes you have to wait till you get on the ship. But general rule of thumb, you don't have to book anything for dining in advance because at least you have some sort of dining and you're not going to go hungry. That's where I was going.
Listen, I've said this before. If you go hungry on a cruise ship, it's your own damn problem. So, but just going back through some of the comments before Julie's monologue there. Sharon C says no teasing. So we're going to tease for next week. But the one thing we are not teasing about is the July 12th, 2025 group cruise that we're doing with the Sharon at Sea channel. So if you have not booked that one yet, you need to reach out to either us or Sharon to get your cabin booked on the Carnival Sunrise, which is leaving from Miami. And I'm doing this from memory without a ticker. July 12th, 2025, going to Nassau, Grand Cayman, and probably somewhere else. Half Moon Key. My memory ain't what it used to be at 45. So
That's the best memory of anybody I know. Don't kid anybody.
So we're getting bullied by Kevin and Mary Ellen to join them on the December 6th cruise on Venezia, which sounds fantastic. However, with kids in school and
I was gonna say December. Venezia sounds amazing.
Yeah.
Can't wait to get on that ship again. But December 6th is a tough time of year for
December's
us.
tough. December's very, very
It's
tough
hard.
for us. But July's fantastic. So
This is
July 12th, 2025.
And so is November.
November 3rd, 2024. Still rooms left on the November group cruise. It's now considered almost a last minute sailing, and we only have that group rate held
And
for like another 30 days,
if that.
maybe. So listen, I don't want to give those rooms back to Royal Caribbean, because if we give them back to Royal Caribbean's going to sell them a prevailing rate, and then they're going to make like way more money.
They're gonna be double what we have.
Oh my gosh, we for like half of what the rate is right now.
That's what I just said. Another great time of year for us is like, that January-ish time.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll see. All right.
Hey, they said no teasing.
I'm not teasing anything. I'm just thinking out loud. I'm brainstorming. So good stuff, guys. I don't know. I wasn't reading the chat because I know you do that while I talk.
No.
Are we doing a part 4? Or are we done this? Can we continue to talk about booking dining and booking shows, or are we gonna say, you know what, guys, we can continue planning it another time and move on?
Well, we'll continue talking about planning, but you know what we're gonna do is
I wanted to know what they wanted.
We're gonna.
Not what you want.
Oh no, I was reading the chat. So here's your assignments. Everybody head over to the Facebook community group. Let us know.
You better set up a poll.
We can set up a poll. Let us know what you guys want to talk about. Marianne says bullied. Wrong word, Brian. Encouraged.
This is true.
Says,
I tell him not to use that word.
Kevin says #ditch the kids cruise. Well, Kev, we'll tell you one more thing. We do have a ditch the kids cruise coming up, and that is in 64 days, where Julie and I will be boarding Royal Caribbean's Utopia of the Seas, July 15th through my birthday, the 18th, for the preview sailing, and then getting off and getting right back on for July 19th through 22nd for the inaugural
sailing. Kind of a back-to-back. I mean, they
Utopia
have a day in between because they have the naming ceremony in between.
Right.
But kind of a back-to-back. And it's gonna be a lot of fun.
So we can really only get away with one ditch the kids cruise per year.
We're pulling a lot of parent favors on that one.
Yes. So that said, happy Mother's Day to all. Thank you guys for spending your Sunday night with us. We're here every Sunday night, 9:00, talking about something about cruising. So I think next week we'll do a little more planning, because it sounds like there's a
lot
whole
of
lot
cruising
more
and a
planning.
little bit of us. How's that?
We got a whole lot more planning to talk about, and I think that in the next week we're going to have nailed some things down for November that you're going to want to hear about. So head on over to the community group and let us know what you want to hear about. Share your pictures and stuff in our community group. We love to see where you're traveling to, and
let us know how did you spend your Mother's Day? Maybe I'll make that post. How did you spend your Mother's Day? We would love to hear it. If you have any pictures, share your pictures on our community group. And
until next week,
see you on the seas.